tone deaf. Tone is important, right? Perception is important, seemingly, especially with Donald Trump at the helm. How does South Africa approach this in a tactful way that doesn't escalate tensions?
Yeah, and I think that's a good question. It's also linked to Marcela's question. We really believe that diplomatic engagement will have to be the best way to go about this. And we stand ready to engage our US interlocutors at any point. And we have our ambassador there, Ambassador Ibrahim Rasool, who is really working hard to engage a number of role players. Kali earlier asked me for proof of what afriforum had said in the US. And this is an extract from the Washington Post. It says, Tucker Carlson, those South African white rights activists aren't telling you the whole truth. And then it says, last month, this is a 2019 article, Kali. Last month, South Africa's white rights activists toured the United States on a media and lobbying campaign. Members of this group, which they call afriforum, aim at drawing attention to what they allege has been a campaign of violence against white farmers ignored by the government for racial reasons. They met with staff and Congress members, and they were interviewed by conservative media outlets such as Fox News. So there's a direct link with the latest executive action, because President Trump says horrible things.
Just hold on, Kali. Let Crispin finish his point.
President Trump says horrible things are being done to a certain class of people. And then what do we see later? His executive order is exclusively dealing with the Afrikaners and granting them refugee status. So there's a direct link with their campaign, what has been reported in media in the USA, and what has now resulted in this executive order.
Actually, how do we bring down the temperature at this stage?
I mean, my brother Crispin will be well based to answer that. But I think now we have to engage in diplomatic relations. You know, he has said it that the government is ready to engage. The question here is the American government ready to engage with South Africa to bring down the temperature? You know, I think to be honest, Pretoria has always been willing to engage any partners, you know, that they have differences with, you know, given the history of the country, given the foreign policy of the country. And at this point, I just think that, you know, it will be engagements that need to take place, but I don't think that the Trump administration is ready to engage. If you have a Secretary of State that goes on Twitter, does not engage his counterparts, goes on Twitter and says he's not going to attend the G20 summit.
Christopher, we have a government of national unity. Many